Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you had a great week. Another big week in the market, newsworthy for sure, and more to come in the next 2 weeks also. Even after this week's big news items, including the jobs numbers today, not to steal the thunder too much from Monday's video, but this coming week we'll get CPI Tuesday, PPI Wednesday, we'll also get retail sales. Then the following week we have the Fed meeting, and since it's all about the Fed, that's what we'll be watching. So you know that that's Monday's video plan. So let's get back to the script for Friday. Today is March 10, 2023, and this is your Friday planning video. As you can see, I even fall into it sometimes. The day-to-day of what's going on, the noise, it gets in the way of the true signal. For me, and most importantly for you, let's get focused on the goals and what we should do to keep moving in the process. Remember the process. We're going to determine what your goal is. We're going to set up a plan to reach that goal. We're going to implement that plan, revisit and check on that plan, and make changes when necessary, and then repeat. So yes, the goal setting is important, and as so many of the conversation has gone, yes, it's hard to quantify a goal. But as you've heard me say before, as Yogi Berra said so well, if you don't know where you're going, you might wind up somewhere else, someplace else. And that's why our meetings and conversations always start with the revisit of the goal. It's hard to put a number on it, but we can do that, and we will, and it will change. Please keep up with the meetings and the goal setting. We're quickly approaching the end of Q1, and time is flying by. A few things to review and set to do as we come to the middle of March and beyond. Let's get this out of the way. I don't give personal tax advice, as you know, not even during tax season, but this time of year, even more than others, I'm talking to accountants regularly to confirm your plans are in place. Please connect us if necessary so that we can do all that we can to keep your tax plans where they need to be. First, if you've heard me talk about this, about making sure your beneficiaries are up to date, and thank you all, especially Rebecca, we've made incredible progress there. If you've not updated for any changes or just confirm that your beneficiaries are correct, please contact Rebecca. Her email and her number are in the signature line of the email we sent today. Please remember, if you have other accounts, insurance, and employer plans, make sure those are up to date too. Now that we've done so well in the primary beneficiaries, let's move on to the contingent beneficiaries. This is important also, so please help us. This will obviously come into play only if your primary beneficiary predeceases you, and this will help to minimize not updating that if something actually happens. So no new news on the no new news on the student loan forgiveness. I'll let you know when we see that. Let me give you a few notes in my weekly Tales from the Front Lines where I bring some ideas based on conversations and issues that I hear from you. Let's talk about Social Security. The details are beyond the scope of this video, so please call me to discuss. But there are a lot of different things to keep in mind when you choose to start your Social Security income or hold off. Simply put, based on the life expectancy these days, it at least makes sense to hold off past age 62 sometimes, and sometimes even to age 70. Please let me bring you and my Social Security resources together for a short conversation. It'll be a short amount of time that I think you will find it will be well spent. Next, annuity income. Now, annuities open up a whole new level of disclosures on this video, so we should be sure to check those out. But note the complexities of annuities and the income annuities specifically warrant a video all to themselves. But I'll keep it brief. From the front line, the details of these changes change year after year. So it makes sense to pull them out and review them. If we have them in your account here, we'll do that for you. If you have them from previous purchases, please bring them in to me. We'll check them out. There are costs that all annuities have, and if the features have evolved over time, it's important to review that. Even non-income annuities are important to review. There are so many different kinds of products. I find that even the most detailed person could be confused within a few months or years of purchase. That's why what we try to do is get them clarified and get it on file what the clarification of those are. Let us review them for you. Make sure you have a plan, that your plan is in keeping with the benefits and costs of the annuity contract you have. Common topic in the past few weeks have been cash management, and it begs to be discussed again. As I try to keep these videos from getting stale with interest rates changing too quickly, suffice it to say that it is urgent that you review where your cash is being held and what interest rates you're earning on it. There's an estimated $5 trillion on the sidelines right now, and included in that is the $500 billion plus sitting in one of the largest U.S. banks earning virtually nothing. There are rates being offered at banks everywhere that make waiting an alternative that was not around this time last year. This is not necessarily for your checking account, but for savings accounts and sideline money. Please talk to me about it. I read a great article this week in the treasure trove of financial advice, the USA Today. The headline read, "Don't max out your 401k, do this instead." So in case that got your attention, this is a common conversation we've been having for years. Not all 401k plans offer Roth options, and that is what this is referring to. So please, let's get in touch with your accountant and see where this may fit into your tax plan. But if you do not have a Roth option in your employer retirement plan, it may make sense to put in the amount you'll need to get the full match and then take the next batch of retirement savings up to the max on that one for your age and put that into a Roth IRA. This has pros and cons also, so please let's review these. That brings me to the wrap up points, asset location. This is the idea of having 3 levels of tax exposure in your investments: Roth or tax-free growth, traditional or tax-deferred growth, and taxable, or just investments that will be subject to normal capital gains and losses. Based on the way the tax laws are coming around and the announcements this week by President Biden, which don't have much chance of passing, but they are making clear taxes are changing, and that is rarely in your favor. The ability to tap your funds with different tax statuses at the time it makes the most sense. This is so important, and this should be considered to be a part of your plan. Okay, it's a lot for this week, and I always appreciate you watching the videos. I would love to hear from you if you have suggestions on topics that we should cover. Also, please come back Monday for the Monday Market Update, where we'll try to keep you informed in the massive amount of action going on in the short-term action of the market. Have a great weekend.